Hey, everybody. Happy Wednesday morning. This is something different for me. I'm usually an afternoon gal. I'm more on my game in the afternoon. But I always say that my best time is from 10 to 2. So I at least made it to 10. If you're here, go ahead and give me a thumbs up or say hello. Make sure I have my comments. Hi, Donna. How are you? We're going to make a fun card this morning, but first I need to correct some information that I gave you all on Monday. Hi, Loopy. Hi, Joy. I'm sucking on a lozenge, so please excuse me. I've got a head cold. I'm sure that's what it is, allergies or a head cold. But just to keep my voice from being a little froggy for y'all. I showed you all, or I told you all, that bonus days ends Friday. I am wrong. It ends on August 3rd. So you have until August 3rd to earn the bonus coupons, which is Monday, a week from, next Monday, right? If Friday's the 31st. So I apologize for that. Bonus days, if you don't know, hi Letha, is you earn a $5 coupon for every $50 you spend during the month of July and the first 3 days of August. And you can use that towards any purchase during the month of August. So I apologize for having the wrong information. If you're in the market for a new die cutting machine, demonstrators can order the new Stampin' Up! Die cutting machine, the bigger one that you've seen in the catalog, not the mini one. They haven't told us when the mini one is going to be available, but the big one is going to be available for demonstrators to order on August 4th with the holiday catalog. So, and they have told us that you can use that as part of your joining kit. So that's an incentive to join if you're needing a new die cutting machine. And I would be happy to talk to you about joining my team if you've ever thought about being a demonstrator, which there's a lot of different levels of demonstrators. You don't have to do what I do. But anyway, if you've ever thought about that or just need a new die cutting machine and want to have free shipping on it, you can start ordering that if you join on August 4th. Okay, I believe the die cutting machine will be available to customers in September. So not a long wait. Okay, this is the card we're going to make. It is a gatefold card, but it is at an angle. So I don't know what you would call it. An angle gatefold card. And when you make this card, you can make 2 at a time, the way we're going to cut our paper. So I will show you how to do that. That is the trickiest part. It was pretty easy for me to put together. If you get the measurements and the scoring correct. It was just a little tricky trimming. So, but I'm going to show you how I did that. So you're going to take your trimmer. I want to make sure this is in the camera. And I'm using the new in color Just Jade for my card base. I've got all my pieces over here. And I'm going to use my scoring blade. You don't want to cut this, but I'm going to score it at 4 1/4. And basically kind of cutting it in half both ways. And then 5 1/2. So I don't know if you can see that, but we've got a score line in the middle both ways. Now we're gonna, let me get my little sample so I don't cut incorrectly. Because, here we go. We want to cut from this corner. I think it wouldn't matter. It would just matter how you folded it. But we're going to line up this corner in our paper trimmer right in that gutter. And then I'm going to line this corner, the bottom corner. I don't know if you can all see that. This is what's a little difficult because our paper's a little longer than our trimmer. I'm going to go ahead and take this scoring blade out, give us a little bit more room. But I'm putting this corner, make sure I'm doing this right, y'all. Yes, I am. Measure twice, cut once. And this corner in that little gutter. I'm going to have to move my camera back a little bit. Okay. So how I did that is I just kind of started the top. And then I'm going to have to turn it around or scooch it up. I just want to make sure it's corner to corner. I'm going to turn this a little bit so I can see what I'm doing. And I think we're going to be good. Okay, see there, we just have a little bit to finish. And your trimmer may be a little bit different than mine. I was being so careful that I missed this little spot. You know what? I'm going to use my scissors. So this is the trickiest part. Oh, thank you, Loopy. I think this fold has been around a while. This is the first time I've ever tried it, though. And like I said, this is the trickiest part. It's just because our trimmer's not long enough. But that's it. That's the hard part. We're done. So now you're going to have two card bases. We can set one aside. And then on those score lines that we just made, grab my bone folder. We can burnish those. And I did it backwards. No, I didn't. That's the top. Yes, I did do it backwards. There we go. We could have done it the other way. It just would have opened opposite, but I want to do it like my sample so you can all see how I did that. Okay, so if you have to on the replay, a wheel cutter would really work on this. You could just cut it right on the score line, Letha. That is the hardest part. And when I do my blog post, as soon as I get off of here, I'll just put this over there. It'll take me about an hour. I'll put a little guide to kind of show you how that all works. Okay, then we're going to need our layers. And for that, I'm using Pretty Peacock. I pulled the colors out of our Designer Series paper, which is the Forever Forever Greenery Designer Series paper. So this layer measures 5 by 3 3/4, and I'll have all these measurements over on my blog too. And we're going to cut it off. We're going to cut it at an angle as well. And we're going to do it the same way. Only it's going to be easier because it's a smaller piece of paper. So now we have 2 pieces because we can make 2 cards out of this. Okay. We can use the opposite piece of paper from that we cut. So you can make 2 cards at a time with this cutting. Then I want to cut, actually, we are going to use this. This is going to be our bottom layer and our top layer. So basically we just cut it in half at an angle. Then I'm going to take my DSP, which measures 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. And I'm going to cut it. This is what we're going to use on a separate card because I didn't use both pieces on one card. And line it up with that gutter again, corner to corner. If I wanted to, I could use both of these like that to make our card. But I went ahead and embossed that top piece because I've got this other piece anyway, and that way I can use this piece of Designer Series paper for that card. So what I'm going to do is emboss this. I think I'm done cutting now. I said that before, didn't I? I'm going to emboss it with, I'm trying so hard not to cough, y'all, because I don't want you to think I have the COVID. I do not. This is a terrible sinus head cold. Probably because I didn't get enough sleep on my vacation. I'm using the Greenery, one of the embossing folders. You get 2 with that set. They're the smaller sized embossing folders. And I'm going to emboss my piece of Pretty Peacock with this folder, which I've already done, so you don't have to watch me crank it through. Not pretty. It adds a little texture. And I'm going to grab my stamp and seal here. Well, I guess I'm not. Sometimes I think my stamp and seal might be a little too strong for some of these. There we go. We'll just use this. That might have been my stamp and seal plus. I don't know. Okay. And I've got glue on my fingers again. So I'm just adhering that right to that top panel. And then I'm going to adhere this piece that's unembossed, not embossed. It's the other half of the 5 by 3 3/4 that we cut in half at an angle. And then I'm going to add our Designer Series paper. I love this paper. It's so pretty. Okay, then to make the tag on the front and to kind of hold the card together, I am going to use, we used this on Monday, the Stitch So Sweetly. I'm going to use the larger one and I'm going to cut it out of Just Jade, and then I'm going to stamp on the smaller one on Whisper White. Get my stamps out here. So here's my Just Jade. I'm going to use, what do I do with my dies? Hello. Here they are. Goodness. I'm just going to cut that out, just a solid piece from the Just Jade, and then I'm going to take this little scrap of Whisper White. I think it's 3 by 2.5, and I'm going to stamp with my Just Jade ink. Do you guys like having this morning coffee and a card in the morning? I'm kind of thinking maybe I need to switch one of mine to a morning time, just so there's an afternoon and a morning. But let me know what you think. Okay, so I'm going to cut that out with the smaller die, which I've already done here. And I'm going to put it on with some dimensionals. Let's try one more. Okay, and then we're going to just put it right on top of our thing, but we're only going to adhere it to this side, this flap. So I'm going to try this Stampin' Seal Plus again, because I don't want this, I want it to stay because it's going to have a little tension on it. And then I'll just put a little bit over here and over here. Put it right in the center. You're more awake at this time of day? Yeah. I don't know if I am. No, I am. It just gets me up going. I'll probably get more done today because I got started earlier than normal. And then I just added a little bow with the In Color ribbon. Actually, it's not a bow. I just tied a little knot. Pick the prettiest side. And then I'm just going to use a mini glue dot. To that on there. 10 o'clock's kind of mid-morning, right? So it's kind of like a good time to take a little break. 2 o'clock's mid-afternoon. I'm going to do it this way. I don't know. How do these go? I think I'm going to do it this way. There we go. Maybe just a little bit more off this side. Okay. So that's basically the card. And then on the inside, I put a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of Whisper White, and I stamped. Did I even mention what stamp set I'm using? I don't think I did. I'm using the Forever Fern, which coordinates with the Forever Greenery Designer Series paper. And I'm also going to use the Just Jade ink. Hi, Debbie. Thank you. I think when you've got pretty paper, it's hard to go wrong on a project. Okay, so that's going to be the inside of my card. We could put a verse or a sentiment if we wanted to, happy birthday or whatever, but I'm just going to leave this open to put a note in. Alrighty, that is the card. So see, it's not that difficult, but it looks like you did a lot of fancy stuff. So tune back in over on my blog for all the measurements, and I'm going to have a diagram for that scoring and cutting. But when you do it, you'll have enough for 2 card bases. So just the same as if you had done a 5 1/2 by 8 1/2 or a 4 1/4 by 11, you can get 2 cards out of one piece of 8 1/2 by 11 inch cardstock. And then I have my extra little piece of Designer Series paper, so I can get 2 cards out of that little rectangle. So it's pretty fun. I thought it was pretty fun. So I hope you ladies enjoyed it, and thank you for tuning in earlier today. I had a hair appointment, but since I've got this cold, I went ahead and canceled that because I just want to be careful and I don't want to freak anybody out. Wait till I'm feeling a little bit more normal and my nose isn't running as much. So that's it for this week. I'll be back on Monday with Make It Monday. And like I always say, if you have any questions or I can help you with anything at all, give me a shout out and we'll talk soon. Bye-bye.